everybody, Corey at Gemini Guitar back for the Patreon exclusive today. We're doing Dark Folk Acoustic episode 5. So the guitar I'm using is the Eastman 508, or the AC 508. It's a really nice guitar. And we're in dropped D tuning, so your string 6 should sound like this. So let's start out in the 10th position. We're going to position the index at 10 on the 2nd string. We're going to use the pick on the 6th and the middle to pluck out the 2nd string. We're then going to repick that note on the 2nd string, and we're going to go over then to the 13th fret and the 12th fret on the same string. So we get also note that we're in a 3/4 time signature, which gives it a waltz type of feel. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can finger up the next bar. One of them could be to use the first and middle finger, 10th on the 6th and the 3rd, and then use pinky for the other two notes. But my preferred MO is just to use the thumb. All those notes are on the beat. Moving into bar 3, we're going to position the 3rd finger at the 12th on 4. Actually, let's use the pinky, that's a better idea. You can still use the 3rd if you want, but this will set you up better for the other two notes next, which is 10th and 9th on the 3rd string. Then 12th and 10th on the 4th. You can use your thumb again, and the next bar, that'll be on string 6, 1st is at 10 on the 4th, 12th then on the 5th, and 9th, while you're holding your thumb if you want, on the 3rd. It's not going to matter too much if it stops ringing, but if you want to let it ring, you can. Let's play the first 4 bars. Moving on to bar 5, we're going to be at the 10th fret on the 3rd string. We're going to pluck the 6th string with that. Repick the 3rd string, and then we're going to do a 16th triplet where we're going to pick the 10th, hammer to 12th, and pull back to the 10th, and then slide to the 9th. You could also pick the 9th if you'd like. And then finally then the 10th fret. Use the thumb again at 10 on the 6th, and we're going to use the 9th fret on the 3rd, 10th on the 3rd, 9th on 3rd. Put your first finger back at 10 on the 3rd, play the 6th with that, and then we're going to do an 8th note pattern. You'll want your 3rd at 12 on the 4th string. Now that open B string that I'm hitting is emphasizing the Dorian flavor. So in your scale diagram there, if you look from the, say the 5th fret on string 5, and you play up to the B note, that'll be your 6th degree. Then you've got the C note, and then the root note D. And I find that B note's very conducive to getting that sound of the Dorian flavour. So let's play through bars 5 to 8. Onward we march to the second half. So this time we're going to be in the open position and we're going to be using a D minor type of sound. Obviously we're in the Dorian mode, but this one really does emphasize it. We've got the root note there droning out over what we're doing, and at least in this bar. So I'm picking the 6th and 1st strings open, hammering to 1, pulling to open. And then we're going back to 3rd, 1 open on the 2nd, 2nd on 3rd. Then we're going to emphasize the progression by using a C note this time at the 5th string, and then the 3rd string open, which is actually a C power chord if you played it like this, but we're using the open 3rd instead. You want to try to keep that C note ringing out for as long as possible. So you pick the 5th and 3rd string, hammer to 2, pull back to open. Don't worry if you get a bit of the B string out there, it's not going to matter that much. Bit of a ghost note, and then 3rd, 2nd, open 2nd on the 4th string. The 11th bar is the same as 9, so we'll skip over then to the last bar of this 4-bar sequence, and this is bar 12. Now this one's rhythmically just a little bit different from bar 2, so the notes are basically the same, but we're going to use a slightly different rhythm. So we start off with 4 16th notes as opposed to an 8th note and 2 16th notes. So it sounds like this. A little bit slower. As opposed to bar 10. So let's have a playthrough of bars 9 to 12. 1, 2, 3. Moving on to bar 13. So this time we're on string 1 with the droning low D string. So we're going to pick the 6th with the pick, and we're going to use the 3rd finger for the 1st string. That's 12th fret on string 1. We're going to re-pick the 1st string with the pick, and then we're going to hammer to the 13, pull to the 12, and then we can either shift and pick the 10th fret, or we can slide back to it. I think I generally prefer to pick it, but it's up to you. 12th fret on 1, back to 10 on 1, slide to 8. That's with the slide to 10. That's with the pick. So the pick just makes the note pop out a bit more. And then 10 back to 8. What you want to do then is repick the 6th for the next bar when you play 10th fret again. And you're basically going to do the same rhythm here, just with different notes. So it's pick 8, hammer to 10, pull to 8. Go to 7, you can slide into that note or pick it once you get there. 8, pick 7 again, slide to 5. So this is the 14th bar. Let's play through those 2 bars a couple of times and then we'll look at the last 4 bars. And in actual fact, I think in the performance I omitted the last note there in that bar, the 5th fret, simply because it makes it a bit awkward to get to the next part. Let's just have a listen to that 14th bar without it. And I think what the better thing to do there would be is to slide out. So where you see the 5th fret, just think of that as sliding out and down to get to the... You've got to get to the 5th fret anyway, but you really have to reposition the fingers a bit, I think. Yeah, because we'd be with index here, like this. The only thing you could do there is if you used your 3rd, so once you play the 7th fret, sort of swap over as you slide out, and then slide to the 5th fret on string 1. So that could be a shortcut. And what we do then is we're going to pluck the 3rd fret on 5 with that note. Take our 3rd off, play 3, so that's just where the finger's barring, because you'll need to bar at that point. And then we're going to play 6, 5, 6 on the 2nd string, back to 3 on the 1st, and then 3 on the 2nd with the open D string. So it looked like this. And then moving on from that, pretty much the same rhythm with a different scale sequence here. So this time we're going to start with the 3rd on 5th and 6th on 2nd. Then 5, 3 on 2. Keep barring that 1st finger. 5, 4, 5 on the 3rd. And then you want to slide into the 7th while strumming the 6th, 5th, 4th and 3rd strings. And that's what's known as resolving. We're getting back to the D root tonality. So always remember there's a few different ways you can normally do things, so just experiment a bit and you should be okay. Let's play through these last 4 bars. Okay, thanks for watching and supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Bye for now.